Lewis Hamilton is contracted to Mercedes until the end of next season. Lewis Hamilton will need to find a way to replace the adrenaline rush that comes with racing in Formula One when he eventually decides to retire from the sport, according to Sky Sports F1 expert Martin Brundle. Hamilton has enjoyed a hugely successful 15-year spell on the grid but appears to be nearing the twilight years of his career after celebrating his 37th birthday back in January. The Brit remains tied down to Mercedes until the end of next season as things stand after penning a new 2-year contract back in July. The deal is believed to be worth an estimated £40 million per year, a figure that puts him level with Max Verstappen as the sport's joint highest earner. However, there are said to be growing questions over Hamilton's long-term future in F1 after he was rumored to have been considering the idea of a shock exit in the wake of his crushing defeat at last year's Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. The man from Stevenage eventually went on to end the speculation over his continued presence at Mercedes by returning ahead of last month's 3-day shakedown in Barcelona. That said, it remains to be seen whether he will decide to call time on the sport when his current deal runs out at the end of 2023. Brundle, who retired in 1996 after spending 12 years on the grid, has warned Hamilton that he will find it difficult to call upon the adrenaline that has fueled him for the entirety of his career when he eventually stops racing. How do you replace the adrenaline rush? We're adrenaline junkies, Brundle told Express Sport. When you're racing F1 cars for example, and other sports of course, you can't just switch that off. Competitive people are ambitious people, you can't just switch that off overnight. I took on 4 jobs when I ended up out of F1. One of them's gone quite well with television, thank goodness, but you have to still channel that determination, that competitive spirit and the adrenaline. A number of recently retired F1 drivers have opted to dip their toes into punditry, with the likes of Nico Rosberg, David Coulthard and Paul Di Resta excelling in front of the camera over the last few years. Hamilton has been stepping up his multiple off-track commitments as of late, though, and could be tempted to switch his full attention to his other ventures in the near future. I am sure he'll do something, but there's so many things Lewis can do on a global scale and he is doing so, added Brundle. I don't see him standing with a microphone in his hand being a pundit.
I